Good morning, church family. Today we're going to be in Luke chapter 24, starting in verse 36. It says, while they were still talking about this, Jesus himself stood among them and said to them, "Peace be with you." They were startled and frightened, thinking they saw ghosts. And he said to them, "Why are you troubled, and why do doubts rise in your minds? Look at me. Look at my hands and my feet. It is I, myself. Touch me and see. A ghost does not have flesh and bones as you see I have." And when he said this, he showed them his hands and his feet. And while they still did not believe it, because of joy and amazement, he asked them, "Do you have anything here to eat?" And they gave him a piece of broiled fish. And he took it and ate it in their presence. You know, I'm amazed as I read this. I mean, could you pause and just put yourself in that situation? There you are in the upper room. You're hearing testimony accounts from these men from Emmaus, from the apostles, and they're trying to wrap their minds around this most miraculous experience that Jesus rose from the dead. And then suddenly in their midst, Jesus shows up and they are startled, struck with fear. "Oh my goodness, we know you, but how could you be alive?" We're still trying to process all of this. And Jesus says, "Why are you filled with wonder? Why are you filled with doubt?" And I'm reminded so often in my life how even when I experience the things of God, even when the miraculous occurs, when God blesses me as only He can bless me, when God meets my needs as only He can meet my needs, how often I still doubt who He is. I doubt what I see with my own eyes. I doubt what I feel with my own hands. This must have been the disciples in this moment. Even though they knew that Jesus had risen, even though they had heard these accounts and they were trying to wrap their minds around it, and now Jesus was here, even as they touched His hands, touched Him in the flesh, they still stood in awe and wonder and disbelief. Because the things of God are higher than our ways. The way that God moves is higher than our thoughts. We are so limited and God is so unlimited. Sometimes you just have to stand in awe. Maybe that's been your experience as we've walked over the last almost 90 days through the Gospel of Luke. Maybe you've been caught several times stopping and pausing and standing in awe. I pray you have. I know I have. Maybe it's been hard to believe because we watch and we see Jesus' life and we go, but we can never live like that. We can never live with such communion with God. There's too many obstacles. There's too much time constraints. Let me encourage you, as God is so faithful to encourage me. God is faithful in every season. God's truth is true. And so we can lean into Him and God will not disappoint. We will not find ourselves falling short. So I wonder for you, will you trust in God today? Or will you continue to be met with doubt? If you're willing to trust today, will you comment in the section below? I'd love to pray with you, love to encourage you, so we see God glorified above all else. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow as we close out Luke chapter 24.